Hello, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel. Welcome for vlog 3, the final vlog for Wonderthon. Also welcome back to my house and welcome back, or welcome to Team Babylon, hopefully not being in last place finally. I did take a day off of vlogging as we got home, but I have been reading and I'm back at it. Today I did finish the audiobook of The Roughest Draft by Emily Weberly and Austin Sigmund Broca. Is that correct? I ended up giving that 3.5 stars. I thought it was like charming but not the best thing ever, so it was what it was. The audiobook was dual narrator, which I really did enjoy. But this is finally the vlog where I can full spoil what's going on because it won't come out until after the readathon is out. So I will just say I submitted that book today for military points. We are currently doing a little defense. We have some tricks up our sleeve, hopefully for the last portion here. I'm kind of shooting for third. I think Rhodes, the team Rhodes has kind of taken off for first place, but I think that we could potentially get second. What am I saying? Did I say third? I meant that I'm shooting for second. Pregnancy brain. I do think that the rest of us are like very competitive to get that second place spot, depending on what everyone's strategy is. Right now our strategy is basically to lay low. Everyone has kind of ignored us and for the most part left us alone for battles because they think we're doing so bad that like we're not in the running at all. So our plan for now, today is Tuesday evening, like Tuesday's basically done, but there's one more points update before like the final reveal, so other teams will only get one more hint as to where our standings are. I'm not sure if Lizzie this time is going to give like full on points or just standings. She's done some of both, so we're trying to stay inconspicuous so nobody thinks that we're coming up on them. So we're really just trying to defend military a little bit as much as possible so that we don't get absolutely smashed in a battle, and then we are actually reading through books and not finishing them, so that hopefully after Thursday, when there won't be any more public points updates until it's over, after Thursday we will finish all those books and hopefully just accrue a bunch of points while still staying hopefully safe. Hopefully the other teams are still just like kind of ignoring us. And so my first project to get close to the end of is still The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is a reread for me. Right now I'm about halfway through and I'd like to get like 30 minutes from the end. That's my goal for that. And I just finished my audiobook literally not that long ago, right before I told you about The Roughest Draft. So what am I gonna listen to next? Let's see. Scrolling through my Libby, I think I'm going to start, that's not gonna focus. It's Aisha at Last, which I do also own, so that's probably my next audiobook. And then I tonight was also going to go ahead and order the Magic Treehouse books I need so that they'll come in time for me to read them this weekend. I have not actually used any of my less than 30-minute books yet, so I can definitely use that to my advantage still at the end here. I'm hoping that we've kind of snuck up close enough and that at the end here we're just gonna like come from nowhere. But that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. I will update you when things happen or I have things to say, etc. A home stretch here. I'm really hoping that we can pull out of last place. Hi. I am here. It is Thursday. Last night I did live sprints on Lizzie's channel with her and Martine, and I am getting through some things. I am almost at the end of the audiobook of Aisha at Last, so I have paused finishing that until after the points update tonight. I am also at the end of The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. Again, I stopped like a few chapters before the end so I can finish that after the points update tonight as well. And then I think I'm gonna start Wild at Heart by K.A. Tucker. The Simple Wild was a reread for me, so at this point like I know how it does end, so I feel okay technically starting the sequel even though I have a few chapters left in the first book, because once I read Wild at Heart, it seems silly to read a full book, but once I read that then I can read the novella, which I believe is called forever wild. So I am joining sprints again tonight. Tonight I believe they're on Martine's channel. We're gonna do the live points update. We're gonna do some reading. And then tomorrow I'm hoping my team just goes submission happy. There will be no more points updates until the end, so we don't have to hide anything. It is full bore to the finish line now. I did just acquire the Magic Treehouse books I need to read, so I do have some short things, as well as once I finish the like wild books. What's that series called? I don't know. The books I just talked about. I do think that I'm going to try to read some series of Unfortunate Events books this weekend. I'm just gonna get through as much as I possibly can right at the end here. But I did just want to say my predictions for the points update tonight. I do think that most likely Rhodes is in first, and then Ephesus, and then me, and then Martine, that being Rhodes, Ephesus, Babylon, and then Giza. But I do think that Martine is being suspicious. I definitely think that they are also advising their team not to finish books and kind of super implode this weekend. So I am curious to watch things happen after the points update tonight. Their points have barely moved for like 2 days, 3 days. I'm on to them. I do think that both of our teams are trying to play like the don't look at me, there's no way we can win card, and then just like really come from the bottom. Hopefully the other teams don't pick up on that. We'll see. This weekend could get wild. I'm just in the same spot every time you see me. I'm sorry, this is where I live. But it is now Friday afternoon, just afternoon, and last night at the points update was shocked, to say the least. We were in second place, which scares me because I do think it paints a little bit of a target on our backs, and as I've been saying, I would like to hide. So now I'm just scared of what's gonna happen to us in terms of battles, because I don't think that we're prepared, but we're gonna do what we can do. I did last night finish my reread of The Simple Wild. I'm giving that 5 stars. I think overall I enjoyed like the entire cast of characters this time more than I did on my first read. My first read I gave it 4 stars, and this time I gave it 5 stars. And then this morning at work I also finished the audiobook of Aisha at Last, and I'm giving that one 2 stars. I really felt, I don't know if it was just because I listened to it on audiobook. You guys know I have a tough time with audiobooks sometimes, but the plot felt like all over the place. Like there was almost too much going on and like too much to follow, where I wasn't invested in the romance because there was like all these side things going on. And so now what I'm reading is the audiobook of The 90s by Chuck Klosterman, as well as the 10th book in the series of Unfortunate Events series. And so that's where we're at on Friday. I need to zoom through some things or we're gonna be hurting. Hello, it is Saturday night and Mabel just went to bed, so I'm about to get my reading time again, but I wanted to update you on things I finished today because I did read short things, so I finished quite a few, I guess. I'm trying to think of the drama of today before I just tell you books. We got big attacked this morning, so we're definitely in last place right now, but then Rhodes, just like right now, Ephesus attacked I believe 12 times, all peach sized, so I think they may have still taken less damage than we took in one attack this morning, but that's not facts, that's me speculating. But last night in terms of books I finished The Slippery Slope by Lemony Snicket, the 10th book in the series of Unfortunate Events series. I did give that one 3 stars. I thought it was less problematic than some of the other ones in the series. If you're not following along, I'm just not enjoying reading that, but I've made it so far through the series that I do want to finish. I never finished as a kid, so I would like to just get to the end of it. And then this morning I picked up this chunky boy just to read 22 pages. This is a bind up of novellas, and I read The 11th Metal by Brandon Sanderson, which is kind of a prequel to the Mistborn series that was written for a game. So like you could be introduced to the world to play said game. I'm not into games, I'm sorry, but I did give this 5 stars. I thought it was like a great self-contained story, and you really could read this at any point in the series. You could read it before you read anything in the series. I personally would probably read it after the first book, but you can literally read it whenever. And then also today I read 2 Magic Treehouse books. This is the only one I own. I read Camp Time in California. I gave this one 4 stars. I am enjoying the newer ones. Like this I believe was published in like 2022, like they're recent now. And then I read the next one, which was Sunlight on the Snow Leopard? Snow Leopard in the Sunlight? Something like that. And I gave that one 3 stars. I don't like cats. I don't like cats at all. And then also Mabel was very good today while we were hanging out. Chris was gone all day, so we just basically hung out. I would have entered some clips. We went to the farmer's market this morning with my mom and my stepdad, and that was a good funky fresh time, something to do to get out of the house. But I have been able to get 100 pages into Wild at Heart by K.A. Tucker already, and so this is now what I'm about to try to continue tonight. I'd like to get to page... I don't know if I want to say what page I'd like to get to because I don't know that it's realistic, but I'm going to say 250. Because basically my plan now for the rest of the readathon would be to read 1 more Magic Treehouse book, finish this, and then read the novella that follows this, and then just read as much Series of Unfortunate Events as I can, which probably isn't realistically that much. So that's kind of like... I'm in my final stages here. Tomorrow is the last day. So I need to let you go and actually start reading. I am back, but the readathon is over. I'm coming back to you on Tuesday after the readathon ended on Sunday. I never did check back in because I was too busy reading, and now I don't remember what I last told you, so I'm just gonna most notably talk about on the last day that I did end up finishing Wild at Heart by K.A. Tucker, and I want to talk about this because I gave it 5 stars. Most notably that I just loved the like sense of community in this, and like meeting new people and those people kind of like taking you in. I loved that aspect of this book. While the romance is fun, this was more of like a troublesome time for this couple, but the sense of community is what really stuck with me and why I gave this 5 stars. Other than that, I was finishing short things. I finished the Magic Tree Houses. I finished The Slippery Slope, if I hadn't mentioned that. I read a Brandon Sanderson novella, if I hadn't mentioned that. And yes, I finished off the readathon, so I am post live show results as well, knowing that my team, Team Babylon, did get 4th place. So we did lose, but we did have the most wonder points, so in my mind we won. And that's that. On that, I can't believe this was 2 weeks. This was such like a hectic, overwhelming 2 weeks of also just pure fun. I do want to thank Lizzie for putting this together and including me as a team captain. I had such a good time even in the times when we were not doing good. I know that she was really a trooper with this readathon ending up being bigger than we were expecting, and also like working out the kinks as this was the first round. So this really was a test run, and you know, not everyone's always going to be happy, and I think Lizzie handled that with grace. And I can't wait for round 2 next year. She is gonna wait a year to do the next round, but I'm already excited to participate and play. I do want to just quickly share my personal stats because I think that I did really good. I know that some people like really popped off and read more than I do, but for me this is like a crazy good amount of reading for 2 weeks plus 2 days because we got 3 weekends. I read 19 books, and my page number is what I'm really proud of. I read a total of 5,005 pages, and I earned my team 228 points because I was mostly submitting towards military, which was only worth 10 points. And that's a wrap. That's the end of Wonderthon 2023. Like I said, I hope to see you next year, and I guess it's time for me to get back to my normal reading, so you'll probably see a jokes episode soon. Thank you so much for spending some time with me these past couple weeks, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.